Welcome to another RMS support tutorial. Today we'll discuss QC requirements and how to add them in RMS. Now let's get started. QC requirements is the collective term given to contract requirements for QC tests, user schools, installed property, and transfer property. The contractor is typically responsible for developing a complete list of all these requirements and inputting these into RMS. However, for this demonstration, we will do this in government mode. The requirements are usually found in the specifications and will require careful examination of the specifications to identify the complete list of all QC requirements. QC tests are prefixed with CT followed by certain numbers. The need for specific QC tests is identified in the specifications. Testing requirements can usually be found in Part 3, Execution of a Specification. It is government responsibility to verify the contractor has developed a complete list of QC tests and enter it in RMS. User schools are prefixed as US followed by certain numbers. User schools are the training or instructions you must provide to the customer on equipment or systems provided and installed as part of the contract. As each session of the training or instruction is completed, reported on the QC daily report. A USACE representative should ensure that it was accomplished appropriately, and if not, have it repeated to comply with the non-contract documents. Installed property is prefixed by IP and followed by certain numbers. Installed property is equipment that is permanently installed and attached to a facility. These are typically equipment types that have serial numbers, require maintenance, and are discrete entities. As installed property arrives at the job site, compare it to the approved shop drawings for conformance to the contract and record it to the manufacturer, serial number, and other maintenance-related information. Lastly, transfer property is prefixed TP, followed by certain numbers. Transfer property is property that changes hands during the construction process. Examples include government-furnished property that is installed or used during performance of the contract. It also includes spare parts and supplies that are furnished by the contractor and turned over to the government as part of the contract requirements. It could also include equipment or materials that were deleted by the contract modification and the government decided to retain possession rather than take a monetary credit. The government should prepare a DD Form 1149 transfer document to include with other closeout documents. To add these tests into a contract, from the contract menu, navigate to the QA/QC tab, then click on QC requirements. QC requirements can be filtered at the top by the blue tiles according to their type. Each QC requirement will display different column information based on the filter type. This information can be especially useful for contractors that need to complete QC tests awaiting results displayed in the results column of the QC test module. Although adding QC requirements is the responsibility of a contractor, for this demonstration, we will complete the steps in government mode. The steps being demonstrated will follow the same process that the contractor uses in contractor mode with a few exceptions. We may add, edit, or delete any of the QC requirements listed. For this demonstration, we are only going to add a user school since adding QC requirements have the same process no matter the type. Click on the Add button. Here a drop-down list will populate with all of the options. Select User School. We can now enter all the necessary information about this QC requirement. The minor differences between each QC requirement are found in the Transfer Property and Installed Property menus. The Transfer Property fields have transfer property from, to, and types as well as unit type, cost, total units, transfer units, and remaining units. The Installed Property fields have unit type, cost, and a description box for the unit of measurement. Otherwise, filling out each QC requirement is completed in the same manner. Click the Not Set blue tile to set the section in which this requirement will be a part of. Be sure to choose the appropriate section as each contract is different. Enter any specific paragraph information. Click the Select Location from Lookup to display a list of locations. Choose one and click OK. You may also manually enter this information if desired. Enter the name of the person who will perform this requirement in the Performed By section. Click on the blue tile next to Required for Activity to select a list of pay activities this requirement associates with. This will allow the pay activity's due date to be associated and linked to this QC requirement. Then click OK. Now you may enter the description of this requirement in the box below. The top document package will display anything that the contractor adds to this specific requirement, and the bottom document package is for government use only. We do not need to add any documents at this time. Now we can click the back button to save this entry. As you can see, the blue tiles reflect accordingly. There are now 1 user schools according to the blue tiles. We can also see the updated information about the QC requirement in the description box below. You may notice that the QC date has been left blank. This will only change once the contractor has completed this requirement in the QC Daily Report under QC Requirements. This information will also be verified in the QA report in Government Mode. For more information on QA or QC Daily Reports, please see the link in the description of this video. You may also view each QC requirement in the QA/QC summary for reference. To do this, simply click the Contract menu button at the top, then click the QA/QC summary module. You can view all the requirements and filter them based on their status, whether completed, not completed, or QA concurred. In summary, we discussed the QC requirements and demonstrated how to add them in RMS. As a reminder, QC requirements is the collective term given to contract requirements for QC tests, user schools, installed property, and transfer property. QC tests are prefixed with CT, user schools are prefixed with US, installed property is prefixed with IP, and lastly, transfer property is prefixed with TP. If you experience any technical difficulties while attempting to add QC requirements in RMS, please contact the RMS Support Help Desk by submitting a support ticket or by calling the Help Desk phone. Links to our contact information will be provided in the description of this video. We hope you found this video informative, and thank you for watching.